You got a check engine light on your car? We all get those from time to time, but we want to be able to diagnose that. And I've got a really good and inexpensive option right here in my hand. So let's take a look at this device right after this. Now, if you have a check engine light, of course you're going to want to be able to diagnose this rather than take it to the dealer or dealership. And you want to probably get yourself one of these OBD2 port readers. Now, there's a lot of them out there. A lot of them connect by Bluetooth to your phone, which I'll be showing you today. And some of them actually have a built-in screen, but those can get quite pricey. Now, if you want to really go cheap, of course, you might be able to get something like this. I've got this OBD2 reader. I picked up in Temu for like $13. It will, on this little LCD screen, give you the code. If it reads it right, I don't know if it even reads all the modules correctly, and there's no information. It is as basic as it gets. I ended up not really liking this because it just doesn't give me nearly enough information. Now, if you have like an import car, of course, you can go with something like the CarPal module, which I use on the BMW here. And this works really, really well. I have no complaints. But you look at about $70 for the module, and then I was paying about $100 a year just for the software, which is pretty pricey. Now, this does have the ability to code, so I can code custom things like the mirrors folding in, the windows going up with the lock button and stuff like that. The device I'm going to show you today can't do that, but you're paying $100 a year, and I mostly just want one of these for diagnosing a check engine light. And that's where today's OBD2 reader comes in. And this is the Topdon CarPal. This is about $40, so considerably cheaper, about half the price of the CarPal module, but you only pay $30 a year subscription fee, and the first year is included with this, so you don't have to immediately subscribe to their software. And it will diagnose your car, like your check engine lights. It'll give you a vehicle health report. You get a smog report if you have to deal with silly smog and emissions in your state. It's a performance test. They do a 0 to 60. You'll get your time, give you your stats with your engine. It has live data. We can see how is your engine running? Is it running rough? What are the RPMs? Your coolant temperature, stuff like that. You can also look at battery information, though I think it only works on the lead acid. A lot of us, of course, now have AGM batteries. We'll look at all of that whenever we open up the software for this device. Now, you can register it to 3 different manufacturers. If you get rid of a car and you get a different manufacturer, you can remove one and add another. So I've got a Kia and a BMW and a Chrysler. I'm probably going to use it in a Chrysler minivan today, and we're going to try that out. And you just download that software package for that manufacturer, and that allows you to diagnose all the stuff for all the vehicles they make, and it just saves it to your phone as a software download package. So what I'm going to do is we're going to hook this up to my Chrysler minivan, which I've never diagnosed, and see if we get any kind of codes. There is no check engine light on the van, but we'll look at it and see like what kind of vehicle health report do we get on the van. So let me go and take this over, we'll hook it up to the OBD port, and we'll take a screen recording of the app and let you see how we use that. So I'll be right back. All right, I lied. I said I was going to do this diagnostic in my Chrysler. I'm actually in my BMW. So I've already done this before, so I'm pretty familiar with it, and I have already downloaded the BMW package. So first of all, what you're going to need to do is download that CarPal app. You can get that from the Android or the Apple Play stores. And I'll put a screenshot from the Android what that app does look like. You can see it here on my screen. You're just going to click on CarPal, and it's going to load up. So the first thing I'll show you is if you go into the Me or the profile, you can see it's got some of my information on device management. You'll see that I have Chrysler and BMW. I can do one more, so I could download the Kia, but I'm not going to mess with that at the moment. You'll download it. If you're not on Wi-Fi, you'll just use your mobile data to download, so do keep that in mind. So we're just going to go back. We'll go back to the home, and this is where you've got all your options. Your vehicle health report, where you can see it gave me a 90. And we'll do it here in a minute so you can see it on the BMW. Engine inspection, your live data, a battery test. HUD is just simply kind of using your phone as a heads-up display. Your maintenance schedule, smog check, and then down the bottom right is your performance test. So first, let's click on the vehicle health report. But when you get to this next screen, this is where you can select all the modules that you want it to check. So if I just click on these, and I think you just have to kind of go through and you can select all of them. And that's what I'm going to do. So I don't see an actual option to tell it to select all, which is a bit odd. I think that's what it's doing. Again, it doesn't exactly tell you in the instructions here. I'm just going to select all of them, make them blue. I'm going to click on scan, and now it's going to scan the vehicle. So it's going to scan all those modules, pull any error codes, and there's a couple on my car, and then give you a vehicle health report. So let's skip forward and I'll show you that. So before it finishes the scan, you can see it's picking up no DTCs, which is just no error codes is found yet. It's going to pick up a few. I know it's going to pick up one from the CIC. So I have an aftermarket Android screen I installed on my car. So BMW module's seeing something goofy because that's not the original screen. You see we got one fault for the CBX and one for the CIC. And I think we'll probably get one more code here in a moment. Okay, now you can see that it has finished there. You can see where it's picked up fault codes. Most everything's fine. You got a fault code for the two I previously mentioned, and two in the FRM driver's side footwell module. So I click that, and you can see it has a minor and one says ignorable. I'm not even sure what this is. I don't know if you click it, does it give any information? Not really. But not a big deal. Now, if I wanted to, I could click down the bottom on clear DTCs, clear those codes out. Now, I have no check engine light on my dash, so I'm not worried about that. It would clear it out, but I'm sure they would come right back as it detected it again, whatever those are. They seem to be very minor issues. But if you had a check engine light, you could click on the clear DTCs, and that will wipe your check engine light out. Especially if you fix something, because sometimes you'll fix something in a car, and the check engine light's still on, and you just want to clear it out, and then the system sees it's no longer present and doesn't re-illuminate the light. Now let's go ahead and go back, and we'll just confirm we're going to leave the scan. Now we could look at live data. We could do that as well, and we could all look at maintenance, smog check. Let's click on the live data. That's just going to give me a reading of the coolant temperature and RPMs and pretty neat stuff. Really useful if you're doing something to your car and you really want to confirm that it's running properly, because the check engine light might not always let you know about a small problem that you might want to know about. All right, so now it's gone through. It takes it about 30-45 seconds to actually complete it. And now we can see as we scroll through here, it says we're around 700 RPM. And of course, we're not moving, so our speed sensors are going to be at 0. If I were driving, we'd have more information here. Just your basic information. Even has barometric pressure. Really cool what the computers pick up on. I know somewhere in here, and I'm sure I've gone past it, but it has your coolant temperature in here as well. I just don't. I know I saw it when I looked at it before. So you can see the malfunction indicator lamp status. That's one thing. I do have a parking light that is needs to be replaced, and it's just when you're in park, and it illuminates that and tells me, and that's one thing the car's been picking up on as an error. And of course, you have a smog check here we could do. I'm not going to mess with that, but it's going to go through and it's going to read the protocols and give you information. I'm just going to back out of that. I'm not worried about that. And now we can click on the performance test. Now I'm not going to do this because I'm parked in my garage, but you can see you have your 0 to 60 time. You can hit start, and I'm not sure if it gives you probably gives you a countdown and you punch it right when it starts, but I'm not exactly sure how the test works. It's going to give you your coolant temperature, the engine load, and it'll give you your 0 to 60 time. And that would be cool to try out sometime in my Kia Stinger if I could do it with launch mode. Pretty neat. Now another thing down here on the second tab at the bottom is mail. And this is where you can subscribe to the service. So after a year, if you want to resubscribe, which I'm sure you're going to want to, you can click on the renewal bundle. It's going to come up and tell you it's $29.99, and you can go ahead and buy it that way. Really neat that they integrated in like that so easily, and that it's so affordable. Again, it's a third of the price as I was paying for the Carly module, and I don't think I'm going to need the Carly module on BMW. Yeah, it's specifically made for German cars, and if I need a code or I need to like replace the battery, which I just did, then I would need it, because this app with the CarPal will not allow you to code a battery. So I couldn't like replace my battery until the ECUs I replaced it. But if you don't need to do any coding, just your basic diagnostics, an engine report, and your check engine light information, this will do all that for a third of the price I was paying Carly. So I don't really need to do that anymore. So I have canceled my Carly subscription for now. And I'm just going to use the CarPal over the next year, and if it fits my needs, which I think it will, then I am going to subscribe to it. All right, I think that kind of covers everything we need to cover in this video. And like I said, I'm really impressed with this thing. So what I suggest is, if you're interested in this, check the video description and the pinned comment. I'll have a link to AliExpress where you can pick up this module. It was around $40, I believe, and again, it comes with 1 year of the subscription. So AliExpress was kind enough to sponsor this video. If you're interested in anything from AliExpress, please download the AliExpress app. You can find it inside of there. Use my affiliate code if you want to help support the channel. Pick this up. Didn't take long to get it at all, and man, you're going to save a lot of money compared to a lot of the other OBD port readers that are either really, really expensive for a big screen, or they're going to come with a really pricey software app. So if you're new to the channel, you like anything from car mods, which more is something I don't do a whole lot of, but from time to time, RC stuff, drones, and tech things, and please consider subscribing to the channel. While you're at it, click that bell to be notified when I do upload the videos. And as always, guys, have an awesome day.